last time we sat down with State Representative Tarah Toohil, we talked about her journey to Harrisburg. Now that she's here, the real work begins to keep the promises made to her constituents. Thanks for joining me again today, Representative. Why don't we talk about the transition period? How's it been going from your previous job as a lawyer to coming here to Harrisburg and being the representative for the 116th?
It's been a very smooth transition. I'm enjoying my legislative work here, as well as serving the constituents back at home, and I'm enjoying wearing those two hats.
What have your committee assignments been?
I'm on the Health Committee, which is a good one because basically I can push the welfare reform that I'm interested in, dealing with the Obamacare issue. That all comes through the Health Committee. I'm on the Judiciary Committee, which I was very grateful and lucky to be on that one because we've had a lot of issues in Luzerne County, in my hometown, in my district, with the judicial scandal that we had. We've lost a lot of judges, and so we've had a lot of legal problems at home, and I get to work on those. I get to research those issues and work on legislation to make sure that we don't have any of those problems again. I'm also on a welfare task force, a welfare policy task force. So I've been working on a lot of the welfare legislation there as well.
It's wonderful.
And I'm also on urban affairs and local government,
I see.
which helps with the Hazleton area. Yes.
Well, that's wonderful. You know, the House recently has also passed one of the largest reform packages in a quarter century.
Yes.
What are your perspectives on the reforms, and how does it feel to be part of that in your first year here in Harrisburg?
Well, I was sent down here to deal with that specifically. The people from my home base, they are concerned with reforming Harrisburg. We've been upset with the excessive spending that goes on, the lack of accountability, the lack of transparency, and this package of bills, the reform bills, the government reform bills, was the first step in a long process at reforming Harrisburg.
Another bill that the new Republican majority has recently passed out of committee is House Bill 42. And House Bill 42 establishes the Freedom of Choice in Healthcare Act. You're on that committee that passed the bill out. Can you tell us a little bit about the bill and your vote?
Well, I did vote for that bill, and I'm glad to be on there. It should be coming to the House floor shortly. It was passed out of committee, which is the Health Committee that I'm on. This is basically, and there was a lot of heated debate coming from that because there's two sides to that, and there's a lot of legislators that were still arguing for basically the Obama approach. And I'm on the Health Committee. We were working towards preserving the state's rights and preserving the individual freedoms that we should all have here at home to make sure that you're not forced into certain contracts, and that if you didn't purchase the health care that was being mandated by the federal government, that you can't be penalized for it. There's a lot of reform that needs to take place with regard to health care. Everyone agrees on that. But the Obamacare and the shoving it down our throats that happened at home, people in my district were very, very unhappy with that. And House Bill 42 is a step in the right direction.
Your district also includes Hazleton, which has been struggling economically recently.
Yes.
What type of legislation do you think would help an area such as yours back home?
Well, right now specifically, I've been working on private correctional facilities. We have one in Hazleton. It's right in the downtown, and the state parolees and inmates are allowed to walk in and out of this facility right in downtown Hazleton. Our homicide rate has gone up. We've had astronomical increases in crime. And until we fix that major problem that we're having, there needs to be regulations on these facilities, and I'm looking at legislative options to regulate these facilities to make sure that we're not getting the worst of the state inmates. They're all coming to Hazleton. They're able to walk around all day long and apply for jobs in the area. They're allowed to go down to the park and the library. And until we fix this problem, we're not going to be able to revitalize our downtown because it's not a place where people feel safe and not a place where people want to be.
Well, it sounds like a good start to fixing up Hazleton. Thanks again for joining me. And
Thank you for having me.
If you have any comments or questions about this or any other legislative topic, Representative Toohil's contact information will be on the screen in a few seconds. I'm Anthony Tezak, and thanks for spending 5 minutes with State Representative Tarah Toohil.